Prepárate. Let me see you jump. Prepárate. Get ready. Get. Brinca. Ahí para allá. Todo el mundo. Let me see you jump. Brinca. Ahí para allá. Brinca.
Okay, everybody, welcome. Thanks for showing up today. Some of you are deeply covered in snow. Some of you are in sunshine. And some of us, like me, we're all clouded up out here, but at least it's not raining. Anyway, I just wanted to say thank you for coming, and I've been trying something new. If you notice the start off, there was a globe going around. And what everybody would need to do is put in on the chat from Clarksville, Idaho, from Johannesburg, South Africa, from London, England. And what happens is you will be posted on that globe while we're in the chat, and you'll see as people are coming, logging in, where they're coming from. So I wanted to try this something. This is the first time I've done that, and hopefully next time we can do that. We can have people all around the world. The globe will be going, rotating, and I'll show you. I see there's some people kind of popping up here, so we'll see it later on, and throughout the show I'll bring it up. But if you could all put in the chat, I'm from Vancouver, British Columbia, I'm from Prince George, BC, wherever, and then we will plot all that onto the map automatically. So it's kind of a cool thing to see, and hopefully we'll get everybody doing that. Anyway, I've got some exciting group. Leon's waiting in the green room here, and so without further ado, I wanted to start a little intro that they have, so without further ado, we'll get it going. Here it is. Hey, Leon, welcome, my man. How's it going?
Hey, Frank. How you, mate? Nice to meet you, sir. Thanks for having me on here.
Hey, yeah. We've been waiting for a while to get you on here, so I'm glad you can make it. And, man.
Yeah, sure.
I'm looking at that intro you have there, and, man, you guys are really just out in the middle of nowhere. It's hostile territory that you guys detect in.
Yeah, definitely. It can get a bit rough. So at the moment, for the last week, 2 weeks, we had a cyclone very close to us, Cyclone Louise. So we've had some miserable weather the last couple of days, or about a week and a half.
Yeah.
So now it's very cloudy, very rainy, very wet. But yeah, for the most part, where we dig, it's quite rough. A lot of rocks, the hard ground, heat. Yeah, gets quite hectic.
Now, in terms of your hunting that you do there, is it mostly that type of a territory, or do you do beaches? I'm not sure exactly where you're located in South Africa, so.
Yeah, so we more the northern part of South Africa. So we are smack bang, you can call it Johannesburg, South Africa. So we work in kilometers. We're about 600 odd kilometers away from the beach. So we don't really beach hunt at all, but we do get stuck in what we call the Highveld over here where we are. So yeah, that's we don't do much beach detecting over here. We hit the rivers and some dams, and if we know there were a few campsites for the specific relics that we go for. If there's some rivers and that in the area, we go in there and we try and see what we can find.
Okay, yeah, that's cool then, yeah, because I wasn't sure, because there's some beautiful beaches in the area over there, so
Yeah.
for sure. So now, how long ago
Hey,
did
Frank,
you get?
how's my lighting? Sorry.
Oh.
How's my lighting? Because my screen looks very, very bright. Looks
It-
like it's daylight over here.
I mean,
Is everything
it
looking
is
okay
bright.
on your side?
Yeah, it is bright, but I mean,
You want
you
me
can
to turn down a few
you
things?
can turn it down, and yeah, hey, they're getting a little better. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, it's yeah.
Let me
it's-
adjust this
Sure.
so we don't ruin this. Let's see.
Yeah, we don't want you to get sunburnt.
Yeah. I agree. How's that? Is that looking better?
That's better. Hey, listen, let me see if I can. I might be able to fix you up. Hold on. Just hold on. Hold
Spend
on.
so much time on my lighting for you, Frank.
There. Okay. There. I'm fixing you up. I'm making you look good. There you go, man.
Stuff. Cool, man. Yeah, that's good.
I do have
Cool.
the
Good stuff.
technology at this end here to work on the lighting too. So.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Cool.
But hey, Leon, I was going to ask you now, how long, and what got you into metal detecting?
Yeah, so I've been detecting for a couple of years, probably 6, 7 years. So not too long, but just 1 year, my wife and I just decided, listen, let's take some of our Christmas or end of year bonus and get ourselves each a metal detector and just go and have fun, you know. So we bought both of ourselves. We bought ourselves our first detectors was a minelab Xtero 505, I think, and yeah, man, got stuck in, did some research, and you know, then got into the relics, went into the parks, got sick of all the bottle caps, that type of thing, and yeah, that's how we got stuck into it, you know. And
Yeah.
I just took it further. So now it's every week, every weekend type of thing.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I mean, yeah, those bottle caps and pull tabs are just, they're wicked. It doesn't seem to matter where in the world you are, you're gonna find those things, and they're just by the hundreds, you know. So
Yeah,
you can't
no,
get
I
away
agree.
from it. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, so I despise park hunts. Every now and again we do go and we hit an old Victorian park, and you know, to do some coin shooting. But for the most part, we stay away from the parks, you know, with the bottle caps and pull tabs. So
Yeah.
we hunt, relic hunting. You know, if there's a signal, you're digging it, and you're going to be finding, you know, some type of relic.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I talked with somebody over in Germany, and I guess, you know, over there is just, they have the situation too. There's a lot of smokers drinking, and everything, bottle caps just go on the ground, and they're constantly, that's all they get. So they like to get away from the parks and go into, you know, like the farmlands and hunt that, where you don't get as many junk coming up
Yeah,
in there as per
yeah,
se.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Now you've had some amazing finds so far, and we'll go through them in just in the back end here. But what you haven't you found so far? What are you kind of looking for that you'd really like to find in South Africa?
Well, I'm not in the gold coin club yet,
Oh,
so
okay.
that'll be nice. It's funny. So my friend Steven, he's actually in the chat at the moment. A couple of weeks ago, now he's the king of park hunts and coin shooting. He goes and he hunts all of these old Victorian parks, and he picks up silver like you know, like it's nothing. And he picked up a gold sovereign. I think it was a
Wow.
19009. He found a British sovereign in a park. Wasn't expecting it, and yeah, we were all stunned. And
Yeah.
I was the first person he actually called up and said, "Listen, I just found a sovereign," and he took a video and we posted it on our TikTok. And it was great, man. It was awesome. So, yeah, then you know, then you kind of think to yourself, maybe we should be hitting the parks, but you just never know, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. You don't. You
So yeah,
don't. Yeah.
that's something.
Yeah.
I
That's
definitely like to be in the gold coin club very
Yeah, and
soon.
yeah, that would be something, because it. I guess, you know, depending on the size, you get quite a. I'm sure like Cougarans are, or is that what that would be? What Stephen have found?
No, no, not a Krugerrand. Krugerrand is that's next level. So
Okay.
no, a gold sovereign is a British gold coin. So yeah, obviously we were a British colony for quite a long time, and so that was part of the currency. So that's more or less the gold coins that we find. We do find what we called a South African or ZAR pound or ZAR pond, which is Dutch. Very scarce, not something that you find every day, and it's worth a lot more. You know, and then its weight in gold. So that's yeah, I think it's more realistic to kind of say I'm going to try and find a sovereign than a gold pound, you know.
Yeah.
But the guys do find them; they do
Yeah.
find them.
Yeah, that is a cool thing to find. I've never found a gold coin too, and I have friends that have found them, and you get kind of jealous, you know, when you hear that they find them, and then especially when they go and they tell you, oh, I found another one, you know. So and doubling up,
Yeah,
and you haven't even got one yet. So, but
Yeah.
so in South Africa, what are the rules for metal detecting? You know, do you have to permits, or how does it work?
No. In South Africa, the hobby is still very young. So not a lot of people are into the hobby. It's grown after in the last couple of years. But in terms of the governance and rules and permits, no, we don't have permits. It's a bit of a grey area. There are taboos. So, if it's obviously an enclosed area, it's private property, you don't go in there. You need to get permission from the farmer or whoever's land it is. And if it's a heritage site, so there is a database of certain areas that are considered heritage sites or that are recorded as heritage sites. And obviously, you can't go and dig there. So those areas we don't go and dig. And, kind of common sense, you don't go walking around in a cemetery and whatever and go and try and look for jewelry and that type of thing. But for the most part, if it's an open field, it's fair game. And if you have permission, like we go and ask for permission all over the show on farmers' land, and if they give you permission, that's where we go.
Yeah. Now, do you share your finds with the farmers over there?
Yeah, definitely. For a lot of the farmers, that's how we kind of negotiate our permissions. So we say, look, everything we find you can have, or you have your choice, or they say, oh, we can go 50-50. To us, there's no monetary value to the relics that we find. Even a gold coin, it's worth a couple of rands, but it's not much. It's not something that you can kind of go out for and look and so whatever we find, we kind of have the option. We give it to the farmer if he wants it, and we give him the history. But what I like to do is I actually go and buy a box frame. And especially when I've done some research on the area, and I take a box frame and I put some relics in there, stick it on there with a little piece of history of the land, and I give that to the farmer, and I say, thank you very much. He has a piece of history off of your land, and it's a nice conversation starter. So he puts it in his bar somewhere. That's what I do. So when people walk in and they say, oh, what is this? And you kind of go into the history and where you found it and what you do and when, and people enjoy that. Sometimes they find it a bit weird, but for the most part, people enjoy listening to what the hobby is all about. So that's what we do.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are surprised that that the farmer or the person that's giving you the permission, they are quite interested in what actually pops up, and then you share that with them. Now, in terms of questions, you get the questions like, hey, what's the coolest thing, or what do you find today? Do you get those from people walking by? Do they say?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
it was funny because I think 2 weeks ago we were out with Stephen, who found the gold sovereign, and we had this very funny moment between us because we were digging right next to each other, and a guy came by who was cycling. And he said, what's the best thing you found? And we both looked at each other, and I kind of went, yeah, we found a gold coin, but you'd never believe us. And it was in the same park where he actually found the gold coin. So, we were just thinking, okay, if we tell you we found a gold coin, you'd just be, yeah, I'm sure you did,
Yeah.
So, we get the questions all the time. There's a lot of people that actually come and are curious, just like with you guys, I'm sure, people want to know what you found, and you show them. And,
Yeah, they do, and that's what I was kind of curious of, are the same questions being asked everywhere around the world, like what do you find, and have you found any diamonds or gold, or, that sort of stuff. So I guess the questions are, or the answers is yes, everybody kind of asks the same, no matter where you are in the world, thinking that you found
and I
something.
think everybody has the same perception, I think when they see you walking around with a metal detector, they're thinking, you're finding gold rings, you're finding jewelry, you're finding old coins, you're finding gold coins. And the reality is you're digging 200 holes and, going home with maybe a pocket of clad if you're lucky.
Yeah, that's true.
It's quite funny.
Yeah. Now, in terms of machines, since you started hunting, how many machines do you have now?
Um, I've got at the moment I've got 3 machines. So I'm predominantly using the XP Deus. I'm also using the XP RX, and I also have a Nocta Macro Simplex.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I just recently got rid of my Amphibio Multi, also from Nocta Macro. So I'm a big fan of the Nocta Macro machines and the brand. But yeah, XP at the moment is my go-to machines. Brilliant machines.
Yeah, it seems like the XP is kind of coming around. I've noticed it over here too, that a lot of people are starting to use that machine, and also over in England. So, and I've seen you guys using it now. Do you use it because it's coming up with some good targets, or do you use it because it's a light machine? What made you go for it?
To be honest, I mean, we got contacted by a company in South Africa called Metal Detector South Africa. The owner's name is John, very cool guy, and he sent me a message one day, and he said, "Hey, listen, we are the distributors for XP. We've seen your videos because I had actually just bought a piece of equipment from him, and I was very impressed with the delivery and the quality and the service and all that. So I actually mentioned name dropped in the video, not purposefully, but just
Yeah.
doing the review. And he hit me up with the message, and he said, "Hey, would you be interested in trying an XP machine or whatever? No strings attached." And I said, "Well, yeah. I mean, I'll use a Deus and see how it goes, just out of curiosity." And I took the Deus, played around with it, started using it, and I just, at that time, I think I had probably about 4 machines, and I couldn't let it go. It was an awesome machine, and
Yeah.
he said, "Well, use it for a couple of months, see how it goes, and then we take it from there." And I used it. I loved the machine. It is, yes, it's super light. I actually did a little write up today about the machine. There's so many things that I love about it. The minimalist feel of the machine is great. The fact that you can, put the controller away and only walk with the small little WS4 headphones with your programs on, and then you literally just have a shaft and a coil. It's the lightest machine I've ever used. It
Yeah.
folds up to next to nothing. You just pop it into a backpack. It's so versatile. The amount of programs and customizable settings that you have on the machine, it's an amazing machine. And I would really say that guys that aren't familiar with the XP brand, find out if you can go and test drive one and use it and swing it around, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's right up there with some of the best machines that you can find.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's what I've noticed about them, and as we start aging, not that I'm old yet, but as we start aging, machines get heavy, and you're swinging, you go out there and you're swinging 3-4 hours, or more. Even a couple of kilograms will get heavy after a while, and that's what I noticed about that. Those XPs are just there's basically it's a shaft and a small little head, and that's it.
Yeah,
And you can break it down.
exactly.
Yeah, and you break that
Yeah,
down.
yeah,
So
yeah. So the coil comes out separately. That's the awesome thing. So I've also got a couple of extra coils, and you preload all of the coils that you have for your Deus or even the ORX. You preload on your controller, and literally, if depending on the situation, if you're in a trashy area and you need a small little sniper or the HF elliptical coil they call it, and you want to go over to that, literally seconds. You pull out the one coil, put in the other coil, lock it up on the cam lock system, go into your controller and just select that coil, and you off going.
yeah,
You don't need
yeah,
to change any programs, nothing, and that's brilliant. Where other machines, it's quite a mission where you have to loosen the little cable, and it becomes a bit of a story. And the machines are heavy. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
again, I love the Nocta Macro brand, and I use the Amphibio Multi. Brilliant machine. Still love that machine. I think still one of the best machines out there. But it's big. It's big and it's heavy. And you don't realize it until you pick up a machine like a Deus or an
That's right.
ORX.
Yeah, yeah,
And you kind of go, this thing doesn't weigh anything. That's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
So that's nice.
yeah.
And there's a lot of guys out there that have, that are semi-disabled, or they're aging, or they're walking on the beach, or like us, we go up and down hills, and you want to try and have as the equipment that you're carrying, right, needs to be as light as possible.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And I'm noticing there's another fellow that I'm gonna try to get on in the show, and the history hunter, and he's got the same thing. He's got that XP, and the digging Canuck back east, she has the ORX, and I'm seeing her using that more and more. So.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's the machine is starting to hit North America here, and people are really starting to like it. And I think the big thing is it is light and it's great quality. So we'll probably see more of it out and about for sure. Now, on your YouTube channel, now have you had any surprises? Since you've started on that, what can you tell us about your channel? How did you decide, okay, I'm going to start the channel? And
look, funny story. I was just out detecting. I started out detecting by myself, and then I started going out with a mate of mine, Tace. He's also on the channel every now and again. Well, for the most part, it's myself, Tace, and Kyle, my wingmen. And we went out, Tace and I, in the beginning, and we would find a couple of things, and guys would say, geez, man, did you really find that? Or where did you find that? Or no, it can't be. That didn't come out of the ground. And, like everybody else, you kind of watch YouTube channels, and I have my favorite channels, the Hoover Boys and these guys and those guys that we all know and love. And I just, for shits, took out the camera, and I said, well, I'm going to take a video and share it with friends on groups and maybe a Facebook post, and people really enjoyed that. So they reacted well to it, and they said, hey man, you should actually create a channel and post more of these videos so we can see what you guys got up, or get up to. And that's what I did,
Yeah. Well, that's a cool thing about the YouTube is, people from all around the different parts of the world can post their videos and see what everybody else, everybody else could be looking to see what you're finding, and that's cool, to see that. Now, and okay, where was I going to go with that? Okay, so I had a question that just kind of slipped my mind, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up my little globe here. I want to show people what it looks like, and then I'm going to set up the photos that we'll talk about. And that's before I go there, the question I was going to have is: do you belong to a metal detecting club? Do you have clubs over there?
No, we don't necessarily have clubs. We do have a few people in certain regions that they kind of have a group name, but it's not a club per se.
Okay.
Like over there with you guys, I think their clubs are more popular. I think because the hobby is still very, it's a very small community still, of guys that are metal detectorists. So we call ourselves Team Zarrps. We have a little WhatsApp group with a couple of guys on there, probably about 20 or 30 guys on there. And if we do have day hunts or group hunts or some weekends, or someone might say, listen, can't we get together and go have a hunt together, then we arrange it on there. And then once a year we have something that we call the annual hunt, and each province in South Africa kind of gets together and hosts a weekend away somewhere. But that's also just limited to about anything between 15 to 25 guys, getting together, and then we go hunt somewhere for the weekend. So, not really clubs, but we do have some social digs that we arrange privately.
Well, that's cool. That's a cool thing to have, to have your friends to be able to kind of share it with them, I know I had the We Dig It family on just the other day, and in St. Croix, they seem to be the only ones detecting over there. So if anybody's looking to go detect somewhere where no one is, hey, head to St. Croix, because they got some great stuff, and they're finding some amazing things. It just blows us away.
Yeah.
But listen, just hold on. I'm going to show this little world again, and show where people are on here, and hopefully next time, like I say, as I start using this, people will get there, put in I'm from Toronto, Ontario, or I'm from Prince George, BC, and I'm from Johannesburg, South Africa, and we'll end up there. But I just want to let me just show you what we've got so far here. Okay, so I'll set this up, and this one's kind of off, but you can see those little markers on there where people are, and it doesn't tell you where exactly you are, but it does say, you know, we've got 2 people from that area in there. So I thought it's kind of a cool thing to have on there. And what this will do as the chat starts is, as people are putting in their place where they live, the globe will rotate to where they are, and they'll rotate to the next one. You know, so we've got a couple people here from Vancouver watching. We've got some people from down through the U.S. watching here. So so I thought it's just kind of a curious thing. I'll have this later on perfected, but this is the very first I've used it, and so it's not 100% yet, but it's a work in progress, and I think it'll be kind of a cool thing to have, you know. So but yeah, so you know, that's where we are, and I'm going to just set up my sharing here for we've got some great images from Leon that he sent in here, and let me just center this and make that a little bit bigger. Oop, that's too big. Okay, so let's go on to here. I just want to show you, you know, look at this hostile territory these guys are in. It just
looks like Mars, right?
Yeah, you know, I can't believe it. You know,
So let me give you some context on what you're looking at. So when we out in the field, this is what we look for. So we go into Google Earth, and if we know that we have a certain area that might have some activity, we jump onto Google Earth, and we try and zoom in into certain areas, and we look for either little round or stone foundations. And what you can see here is to the top left. If you look top left, that's the wall from left to right going diagonally, and then a wall coming down, and you're actually seeing a large stone foundation. And then right in the center, in the front, you can actually see that looks like an entrance. And you can actually see that, you know, if you look at the grass, there's some animals that are actually still walking through there. So that's a big foundation. You know, it might have been like a kitchen area or whatever. You know, so that's what we look for when we walk around, or we take the 4x4, the trucks, and we go out in the field, and we kind of have to drive around and walk around and look for these stone foundations that's now hidden, you know. So that's what that is.
It's amazing, you know, that people actually live out there in that hostile territory, you know, and just, wow. Okay, and then here, this is a cool find.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite finds. This was actually found by my buddy Tace. This was a badge. This is actually post-Boer War, and it says the South African Constabulary, and it was basically the South African Police, and we refer to it as the SAC. And the SAC was established by Baden Powell. He was also the founder of the Boy Scouts. He was a British guy who was very involved in the Boer War, and he started the SAC, the South African Constabulary, and they had posts all along the railway lines with the blockhouses or the forts, and they would patrol these lines and have like little police stations, if you want to call it that, little posts, and they would patrol these lines because the Boers during the Boer War would actually sabotage or blow up the railway lines, you know, to try and prevent them from getting ammunition, food, supplies, that type of thing. And also they would blow up the supply trains to loot them, you know, for supplies for themselves. So that's why he started the South African Constabulary, and this is a helmet a helmet badge or helmet cap badge or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, it's hard to
that
tell the
found.
size on this, Leon. So, in perspective, is it like a couple inches or 4 inches or?
Yeah, it's about I would say probably about 3.5 inches high.
Okay, okay,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So it's about yay
yeah.
big.
And is it made of brass or?
Either brass or copper. I think it's made out of copper, to be honest.
Hmm.
But I'm not 100% sure. It's probably made out of copper.
Yeah.
Actually, a very rare piece.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how you know that it's post-Boer War is because of the crown. So you can see that it doesn't have the cornered Victorian crown.
Okay.
So that's either 1902 or later. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. That's a cool
So
thing to
they had these
understand. Yeah.
posts going well after the Boer War.
Yeah.
Very
I mean,
nice.
if I
Favorite
would
of
have
mine.
found it, I wouldn't know that. But I mean, with you over there, you understand the crown and what part and what year it kind of comes out at. So yeah.
Yeah. And
And
it's
then
nice because you can really put a date on it, you know?
yeah, that's for sure. Now these are cool. It looks like these are all buttons you've got here.
Yeah. This is an amazing button. This is another find that Tace found. It looks like he actually found all the good stuff, man. Jeez,
Yeah,
Frank.
yeah.
Okay.
We'll have to
So
follow
Tace
him
found
around.
this. I need to become like Kyle. I call Kyle the catfish Kyle.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but this is a very very rare button. It's a once in a lifetime find. So this button represents the Dutch um, NZASM. That's the abbreviation. I'm not going to try and pronounce it, but it was the Dutch, the Netherlands Dutch um, railway company.
Hmm.
So they were responsible for actually building a lot of the bridges
Okay.
during pre and post Boer War
Yeah, yeah.
um, in those areas. So that was obviously an officer's button or a train driver button or whatever. I'm not 100% sure, but a very unique find. A
Yeah,
cool
no, I mean you
find.
can
One of my
see the
favorites as well.
the quality of it. How well it's lasted through these years. It just
Yeah, yeah.
that is a very cool
So
cool button.
it's hard to see, but you can see right on the rim going around from left to right. It actually says Hollandse Spoorwegmaatschappij,
Okay,
which means it translates to the Holland Railway Company.
okay,
So
yeah, yeah.
it's really, really unique.
Wow, yeah, no, it is just that is a cool button. I'd love to find that too. So, wow, wow. In here we've got looks like it's a belt buckle or something. Is that?
Yeah, yeah, that is a part of a belt buckle. So this is a two-piece belt buckle that's only one half, and basically this was a standard issue officer's belt buckle, British uniform. I think pattern 1880 or pattern 1885,
Wow, wow.
with the crown and the lion. And yeah, I found this actually in the same area where Tace found that railway button. And this was a really really nice find. It was very good condition as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
So
yeah.
what you would have is this piece of this belt buckle. You have another piece that's just a round piece, and that center piece would actually fit into that round piece, and it would clip together. So you would have the exact same half on the left. You would have the other half on the right hand side, which your belt would be fastened to.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that little center piece would just go into the center of a big round circle and just clip together, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's what I thought when I saw this
Very
photo,
nice.
and I thought it's probably military type
Yep.
of a buckle. They would put two-piece put together and be there. So it's pretty. Yeah, that is a cool thing too. And you're finding the time. You're trying to find time out in the area you're digging there, and you've got another cool little watch here.
Yeah, this was also very cool. So that obviously people know that's a pocket watch. And again, something that's quite rare is we find pieces of pocket watches. So it's very common to find the outside rim of a pocket watch. because I mean, obviously, you guys find similar or find the same type of pocket
Yeah.
watches. You have the main rim, and then you have the inside and the outside latches. And usually the insides are gone or missing, and the covers are gone or missing, and you either find the outside rim. So finding this was really nice, finding a whole pocket watch like that. And actually, when I got home, the insides were missing, but as I cleaned out the mud on the inside, the loop piece that actually fastens right on the top that connected to the chain fob, I was actually stuck on the inside in the mud. So when I found that, I actually fixed it to the top of it and kind of completed it. So that's really nice.
That is a cool thing to have it. And again, as I asked the question, like, okay, if I had that watch attached to me and I lost it, I think I'd know I'd lose something, So for people losing these things, it's just.
I mean, when you guys are finding big American, you in Canada, right? So, but when we see the US guys finding these big dollar coins, you kind of go, surely if you drop this big silver coin, you would find it. How do you lose something like that? And you kind of imagine, what was the situation? That the guy grabbed something out of his pocket while he was running, and he was pulling it out, and the coin fell. Was it raining? Was it muddy? And as he dropped it, it dropped in a little puddle of water in the mud, and he couldn't see it. Was it at night? You kind of just think or make up a story on how he lost it.
Well, that's
was he
that's the
running away
coolest
from
thing.
the missus?
Yeah, that's the coolest thing, Leon. When you get these finds, and like we're talking about them now, and like we try to imagine the story behind it, how it ended up there, and that's part of finding the history too. Is us thinking, okay, now how did it end up here, and why?
Sure.
Yeah,
I love that. I love finding something unique and kind of going, man, where does this come from? Or what was the story behind it, the age, the history, and put the puzzles together, because for instance, like that SAC badge, that constabulary badge, we initially thought when we hunted that area that it must have been a blockhouse, because it was right against a piece of the railway. And we know that there was a lot of Boer War activity in that area. So when Tace found that constabulary badge, we kind of went, oh, hold on, this wasn't a blockhouse. This must have been a police post, patrolling this area of the railway. And then you kind of put two and two together. So then you go, well, there needs to be a blockhouse close by, and started looking for them, finding them, and that's fun as well.
Yeah, no, it is amazing, when you find those things and you think, well, how did it get there, and then you kind of start putting that story together, So, and you've got looks like another nice belt buckle, or is it a brooch?
This is a brooch, a very, very small brooch. It is probably just over an inch in length, horizontally, and you can see it has the name on there, Caroline. And this is a sweetheart brooch. It is silver, has some nice silver markings right at the back, and a sweetheart brooch. I'm sure you guys know, but I'll say it in any case. Was a token, a love token, kind of, So someone whose name is Caroline was given this brooch, and she must have either lost it or he did something to not make her happy, and she threw it somewhere. But whatever the case is, it was a very nice find.
It looks like it's almost like hand done too. Do you think?
Definitely handmade.
Yeah,
definitely handmade. You can see it. You can actually see the backside of it. It's not as smooth. You can actually see how someone has kind of hammered it with little tools, to flatten it out and give it that curve. So definitely a nice handmade piece. It's actually a beautiful piece.
Yeah. No, it is a cool thing. Yeah. And here you've got you guys are finding some, great jewelry and.
Yeah, very nice pieces. So the top is obviously a ring, that is also a copper or brass ring, nicely patterned with the double horseshoe. So it was a very nice trend, during the Victorian era. A good luck charm again, good luck ring. And I actually found that ring in a very old mining camp. So he obviously, whoever wore that ring, hoping to, find some gold.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that was a very nice find. Bottom left, or my left, I don't know how the guys are seeing it, but bottom left, that's another brooch at the top. Very nice gold gilded lady's brooch. And just beneath it is a small piece of a pocket watch chain.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Yeah, it's
Also
pretty
has some
cool. Yeah,
nice intricate
yeah,
patterns on there, also
yeah.
gilded. And then on the right hand side is a shoulder title for Burke's,
Okay,
which was a British regiment during the Boer War.
okay.
So that's a shoulder title. Actually has a back plate that goes with it. So they would put it on their shoulder, stick it through the material, have a back plate, and then with a pin at the back.
Yeah,
And that would be a military shoulder title. So very cool piece
yeah,
as
that
well.
is cool. Yeah, that is another cool one. Yeah. Huh. And then you've got to here. I guess it's just more the belt buckle. Now, that one there, you can see how the two pieces would go in. So
100%.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's exactly what I was trying to explain. So that's now the other half of a similar belt buckle, not 100% the same, but the similar design. So the piece that we saw earlier, that would actually fit through that slot, as you can see, and they would fit together. So that's how those belt buckles work. Very, very nice. The
Yeah.
bottom items, obviously, I explained to you guys. The top items, the right-hand side item, that is also a very nice two-piece button. That actually says, I think, something London company, also a railway conductor's button, a train conductor's button or something, which is really cool, very nice find. And then a very cool piece of history on the left, that is a thin little it's not a token, but it's like a little charm. And what the queen did during the war is she had sent over boxes of chocolates to all of the soldiers as a thank you for
Yeah.
their service. And inside of these chocolates, you had these little charms, all different little
Oh.
charms, as a thank you charm. And that is actually a charm that you would find in one of those boxes of chocolates. So I found a couple of them in the past. You get all different ones, and I think the age of them are about 1901, 1902.
Yeah.
One of
Yeah.
them that I
Wow.
found is the only one that actually
Yeah.
has a date. So that's actually very nice, a nice piece of
Yeah.
history.
Oh man. Well, that's great. I mean, you know a lot of the history, so it's nice to talk to you about these because that's what Like I say, you find something and you know the story behind it. Yeah, that is really cool. Very cool.
Yeah, yeah. A lot
And
of
then
research and a lot of people that have helped us or
yeah,
helped me,
yeah,
kind of figure out. And
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
this was Kyle's find. This is also a military belt buckle, a snake buckle, very very unique. So over here, it's quite common to find these snake buckles. But the snake buckles that we normally find is what we refer to as the gooseneck or the goose head
Yeah.
belt buckle. So what you can see over here is on this belt buckle or snake buckle, the head resembles more a swan or a goose head,
Right.
and
Right.
then it has a snake body. So the buckles that we find that are more common have got two heads on either side, the top and the bottom, with the goose head on it. So
Yeah.
this find was actually very unique, and it was the first snake buckle that I've ever been a part of. And Kyle found that snake buckle, and yeah, I think about 2 months or 3 months later, I dug my own snake buckle,
Yeah.
which was
Yeah.
amazing,
Yeah. That
and
is
also
an
a
amazing
different type.
find. Yeah. 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 For sure.
Yeah, very very cool, very
Yeah.
cool.
And I think we've got this one here. You're showing where you found it
Oh, there
here.
we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my snake buckle. So that's a different type of snake buckle. And according to the research that I've done it, maybe someone on the stream can correct me or actually give me some more detail on the history. But um, this snake buckle, as far as I know or could find, the only other one I could find was one that was found in the States, and they refer to it as a Confederate war snake buckle,
Oh,
which is really, really unique.
yeah,
So how
yeah,
it got, yeah, in South Africa is a mystery, you know.
yeah.
So we know there were a lot of U.S. soldiers. There were about 5,000
Hmm.
U.S. troops, volunteers that came over that fought, against the Boers, and there were also a couple of U.S. Citizens that were already in South Africa that fought alongside the Boers,
Yeah,
during
yeah,
the Boer War.
yeah.
So could this have been, some military uniforms that came over during the Boer War? Was the surplus? There are some rumors that the South African government after the war spent a lot of money purchasing American surplus
Mm-hmm.
uniforms.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so could that have been part of that? We don't know, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
definitely in an area where there's a lot of Boer War activity. So, your guess is as good as mine.
yeah, yeah. We don't have that many in the chat from down south in the U.S. that would kind of comment on some of that where it would be, or if it is from the U.S. Today. But a lot of them are still at work, I guess. So, but
Yeah.
anyway, so here we've
Hey,
got.
if anybody watches the episode, and please send me an email if you have some details. I'd love to find out some more history about it.
Yeah, yeah. No, we'll put that in the chat for sure. And here we've got some old, looks like old buttons. You've got your snake hook and some cartridges and.
Yeah. So we've got some trouser buttons or some underwear buttons, which is the fall hold buttons.
Mm-hmm.
We find quite a lot of them. I think to the right hand side, that's a large general service British button. The one just above it is also general service, looks like a cufflink button. And then we have, that's the snake buckle. So that's my snake buckle that I got out. So you can see the shape, and it's completely different to the one that Carl actually dug.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
the head is actually, a snake head. It doesn't resemble like a gooseneck or a goose head, so different. And we've got some 303 bullet tips and a 303 British Royal Laboratories cartridge on the left. And right at the top, we have a shrapnel ball. So a
Oh,
piece of
okay.
lead shrapnel ball that would have been part of a 10 or a 15 pounder,
Wow.
you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's really something. Yeah.
I think
Wow.
right at the bottom looks like could have been a lead bag seal, like a post bag seal or something.
Well, it looks like Detector Mo was saying here, Leon, was snake buckle was in use in the Civil War side, I think. So that's what he thinks. So that's going back a ways too. So that's kind of a cool. So that's another kind
Yeah.
of a story to it.
Yeah, very cool to
Yeah.
think on how it got to us,
Yeah, yeah. And here again, you got some cool little items and.
Yeah, so we've got some nice coins. There's a nice piece of silver, top left, the little British 3 pence. That was nice and old, I think 1800 something, 18 something.
Mm-hmm.
A nice large copper with Britannia at the top. So in South Africa, we call them Devil's pennies. So
Okay.
Devil means devil.
Yeah.
So the
yeah.
devil's penny. So the old wives during the Boer War, the Afrikaner ladies, they used to call them the devil's penny because they referred to the British as,
Oh, the devils.
the devil, obviously. So also that, and because Britannia sits with like a pitchfork,
Oh yeah, yeah.
So they call them devil's pennies. So which is really nice piece of history as well, and a story to tell. Some more buttons at the top, some general service buttons. At the bottom, also some trouser buttons, different buttons, some clad. And I'm still not sure what that right-hand side item is. It looks like it might have been like a napkin ring. or
Yeah, I
something
was
like
gonna
that.
say almost like it could have been, yeah, a complete napkin ring or some sort, an old
Yeah.
one. Yeah, yeah, that's cool.
The nicest item of this bunch is that feather right in the middle.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Everybody in the comments in the chat is liking that. They're all commenting on it. They all want it, So Mama's
yeah,
Gone
so that
Detecting likes
feather,
it too. And then my wife Tina
that's
was saying she's gonna have to fight for it. So,
yeah, very, very, very cool piece. So that is
yeah.
actually the hint behind that. It's actually a dove feather,
Okay.
um, and what that is once we cleaned it up, at the back of it you can actually see where it broke off. It used to be a brooch,
Oh, all right.
and it's a
Yeah, yeah,
mourning brooch.
yeah.
So something that someone would have worn, when someone dear to them passed away. So maybe during the war, it was a mourning brooch and then someone lost it or whatever. But a very, very personal item, something that you just don't find every day. You
Yeah,
find
yeah,
buttons and coins all the
yeah,
time, but finding something so special and
yeah.
that's unique,
Yeah, that is
that's what we
really,
love.
really cool. That's a great find. And then you've got looks like military again of some kind, is it?
Yeah, so this is post-Boer War. This is a nice little cap badge that Kyle found recently, actually. So top it says Union is strength, and at the bottom is Afrikaans, which is a form of Dutch, which says Eendrag maak mag, which
Yeah.
is basically a translation of Union is strength, and that is a springbuck, which is
Okay.
our national buck or deer
Yeah.
we have in South Africa. And this is, I'm not 100% sure. We have two different types of this cap badge with two different spellings. The one is spelled Mach with Macht, and this one is spelled Mag. So this one is
Yeah.
either at the end of World War One or World War Two. I'm not 100% sure, but still a nice,
Yeah, that is
piece of
the
history.
cool thing. Yeah, that is. Yeah. Yeah, so many
Yeah.
pieces of history that you've gotten here, it just keys and yeah, and this photo too.
Yeah, so a nice little key to a lock over there. That's a nice big watch winding key in the middle. Another devil's penny with Britannia, bottom left, harmonica reed right at the top. And I think that's like a spun back or a flat button at the bottom right.
Yeah.
And that is part of a pocket knife. Broken, unfortunately, but a
Okay.
very nice old pocket
Yeah.
knife that Taze found.
Now that
So
looks
also
like it's
something.
all metal, is it? Is it the handle is metal on that?
The handle with the pattern on is actually copper or brass,
Okay.
but the internals are actually iron, which
Okay.
corroded
Yeah.
away most of it, unfortunately,
Yeah.
and the blade is gone.
Yeah.
So I can't remember what it actually says. It actually says something specific on there, which is it's quite old. It's a very nice find.
Yeah. No, that's beautiful. It just I mean you got so many cool things here, it just this is kind of a recap with that badge and it looks like you've got another type of a badge with that point on there.
Yeah, so we've got that badge. There's a nice piece of silver at the bottom, a silver ticky. We call them tickies, which is basically a 3-pence. And above that is, I think that's a dog tax license, actually.
Oh,
I
okay.
think that is a 1904 or 1964 or something.
Yeah.
I can't remember. That was something that Carl found. I think all of these items actually Carl found. So a couple of buttons and some dog tags and so I suspect that item on the left is actually I recently found a top piece in our last episode. I found a top piece of a black powder flask. Now I suspect I was actually talking about this piece. So at the bottom left, that long piece, I think that actually screws to the top piece of that
Oh,
flask.
okay. Okay.
So that would be the pourer, if
Yeah,
that
yeah,
makes
that would
sense.
make sense. Yeah, yeah. Wow. Huh.
Yeah, so nice find.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's cool too. And you're finding some cool monies too. Now, the old coins there, were there a lot of silver there or were they made with something else?
a lot of silver. I think right up to the 1960s, going up to I think the last bit of silver you would find in the late 70s to early 80s. But then it kind of went over to the normal copper and brass and other metals. But yeah, we do right up to I think 61 or 65. You have up to 40 or 50% silver mixture coins. So we do find a lot of silver. Finding silver on Boer War sites is quite rare, not something that you find every day.
Yeah.
When you do find silver, it's quite old. It's 1800s, which is really nice.
Yeah.
So this is a piece of copper, a copper penny, but this is probably about 30s or 40s. This should be a South African 1 penny, and that's the
Yeah.
bust.
Yeah. Now this one here, for me, I think this would be my favorite.
Yeah. So this is a British martingale, and a martingale is a piece of horse jewelry, basically. So you would have this badge on either the side of the horse bit.
Yeah.
You would have one on either side of the horse bit, or you would have this martingale, which would be stuck to a triangular shaped piece of leather that would be strapped to the horse's chest. So that's very unique, not something that we find every day.
Yeah.
And we found 2 of these in the same area in 2 different episodes.
Wow.
Both found by Tace.
Yeah.
The one he accidentally hit and damaged, but it was still in a fairly good condition. This one was in brilliant condition.
Yeah. No, you can see it.
Yeah, very nice piece.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean
it's
the
beautiful.
quality. The old days when they would make things like this, they put a lot of effort, a lot of talent, a lot of skill went in there. The carving, the initials, and everything. Nowadays, they just make a cast and bang it. Yeah, so and then
That's
look
the
how
thing,
well
yeah.
it lasted too. All these years, it's lasted.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Today's
like I said,
clad,
that's my
you
favorite.
have a year or 2 and it's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very nice find.
Yeah. And then it looks like a 1917 coin.
Yeah, you can see Britannia on there again. Not in the best condition. I think the bust was actually looking much better.
Yeah.
But yes, British penny, British copper. Not too old, but old enough. 100 years old.
Yeah, that's yeah. I mean, it's another one here. It's 1943.
Yep, that's the type of silver that we find. So this is a South African. This is what we refer to a tiki, or a 3-pence, which is a South African 3-pence. Very nice coin. Has our national flower, which is the protea flower in the center of the coin.
Yeah.
And a tiny little coin.
Okay.
So Steven, our buddy Steven, he finds a gazillion of these coins.
Wow,
We don't find them as often as he does.
Huh.
So he just knows how to find them.
Yeah. And here you've got. Look like you guys are out in a big dig, and everybody's put the finds together on all the machines around.
Yeah, this was one of our last hunts for 2020. We went down to the Eastern Cape, and we went digging with
cool,
some friends of us that invited us, and we had some amazing finds. That's where Carl actually found those rings. He found 4 rings in one area, which was amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I see. Looks like there's quite a bit of belt buckles there in the onto the left side there. It looked like you've got a lot of bullets and towards the back. You've even uncovered some old bottles. Now, do you find a lot of old bottles when you guys are out?
Yeah, we do. So we that's one of the things that we do. So when we do go out and we're looking for specific areas and we don't find any foundations, if we're looking for camps, we'd actually look for the ash dumps. So you can actually spot if you experience and you know what to look for. You can actually find some of the ash dumps. They just look out of place. And when we do find these ash dumps, some of them are quite big. And, sometimes we get stuck in and we dig and we find some old bottles if it looks like it might have been a bottle dump. And, this place specifically had a nice little bottle dump. and the guys got some old bottles out of that dump, and
That's
yeah, you
cool.
can't
Yeah.
see much from this photo, but
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
buckles and old relics and watch pieces and buttons.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And here's a ring.
Hunt.
Yeah, I guess that was at the same time.
Yeah, that was Carl with his first ring that he dug
Yeah.
that morning. We had just cleaned up that ring,
Hmm.
and yeah, that was pretty great.
Yeah.
As you
Yeah.
can see, he was a happy camper.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
super
Well,
rare to find a
anytime you
ring.
find a ring, it's everybody's happy.
Yeah,
And here you've got a cross. This is a cool cross here to find.
yeah, very nice personal item again.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
find a crucifix like that, also super old. Same place that we had found those rings and that board of relics.
Hmm.
This was actually found by a friend of ours. His name is Quinton, and yeah, beautiful piece of history
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Very nice condition.
And when you look at it, Leon, you can see the top loop. It's not broken, so it had to slip off a chain for somebody
Yeah.
to lose it. It just
That's the thing. That's the thing. Yeah. Or were they walking around with it, with the crucifix in their hand,
Hmm.
and doing prayers, and then lost it that way? Did the chain corrode
Yeah.
over time? You just, you don't know.
Yeah.
But again, super personal.
Yeah.
And we suspect that this area might have been a small little concentration camp. That's what we suspect
Mhm.
with the things that we found there. So, it would make sense that, someone was there and they lost it. That was something
Yeah.
that people really held on to, was their religion.
Yeah. No, I mean that. Yeah, I mean especially out in the bush, I guess that people have to have something, for sure. But yeah, no, that's a cool thing. This one here is even kind of a neat little,
It's,
almost intact.
yeah, that's actually a favorite of mine.
Hmm.
So very old cap gun.
Yeah.
So that's one of my favorite things to find is old toys. I
Hmm.
love finding old toys.
Yeah.
So this one is a bit damaged. You can't see it. I put it back together nicely. So for the most part, it's complete. But awesome, man. I found this at a very old farmhouse. I think these cap guns were around the 30s or 40s.
Yeah.
They were popular and made. So yeah, very nice. I love finding cap guns, and I love finding little old trucks and cars and lead soldiers that just ticks those boxes. I love that.
Well, this is something like I remember as a kid. This is the sort of toys and guns that I'd play with, So, and that's going back in the 50s, So it's yeah, it's kind of cool to unearth that and to find it in such great shape. It's kind
And
of
I
nice.
wonder, how you use such a big gun like that. And it was
Yeah.
quite deep. It was
Yeah. It's
probably about
just,
15. Yeah, it was easily about 10 inches down.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, it's yeah. Because it's the same thing with me. I found an old tank, a metal tank, and it was about 10 to 12 inches deep. Like how did it get that deep? And it would be
Exactly.
in the 50s also. So, but yeah.
Yeah,
And here
yeah.
you've
So
got
it's interesting.
you've got tags, bicycle tags, and I didn't realize that people had to have
so-
bicycle tags there.
Yeah, me neither. So here's a collection of bicycle licenses, and you can actually see some of them say four-wheeler tax licenses, and you actually had some of the older tax licenses were for ox wagons. They actually had them nailed. That's why these holes, they were actually nailed to ox wagons. Some of the older ones.
Oh, okay.
So you can see there. Some of these tags you can't really see, but I think that center one is very early 1900s.
Yeah,
So that would fit on an ox wagon.
1937. Yeah, so yeah. So was it's a form of registration they had to have, I guess?
Yeah, 100%. So every year they would have to register or get a new license and pay wheel tax, for using whatever, primitive roads that they had. So it's nice. You can actually see on every tag. So the one you can see top right, it actually has the letters HM,
Uh-huh.
and it says Rayville, which means basically bicycle.
Okay.
And I think
Okay.
that says 19,
34 looks like.
1934 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that was a bicycle license. The HM is actually the municipality in the area.
Okay.
So the HM is Heidelberg municipality.
Yeah. And then with that number, you probably could look up who had that, I guess, could you? If you went back to that
Yeah,
area.
you could probably.
Yeah.
You probably could. You
Because
probably
those
could. Yeah.
almost like registration numbers for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. I think you probably could. I've never thought of that.
Yeah, yeah.
So that would be
Anytime you
fun
have
to
those
kind of
numbers, is
see.
if you know where they're from, I'm sure they would have some old records somewhere that you could kind
Yeah.
of go through archival. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
and you find your share of spoons. Boy, oh boy. And these are old
Yeah.
spoons, really old spoons.
Yeah, really, really old spoons. So there's some spoons that are pewter. The middle spoon is really interesting because you can see how twisted the handle is.
Mm-hmm.
So that was actually it's not made that way. It was intentionally twisted.
Yeah.
So the funny thing is why we find so many back parts of spoons or cutlery is the soldiers or whoever spoon it was, they would do something to the spoon to mark that it's theirs.
Theirs, yeah.
Because you can imagine if you in a camp or in the veld or in the bush or wherever, a spoon is kind of an essential tool to have.
Mm-hmm.
You know, eating whatever, your soup or whatever.
Yeah.
So the guys would twist the handles or they would do something to the handle to kind of mark that that's their spoon so that they can recognize. So if someone had taken their spoon, they can go, hey, pal, that's my spoon because this is how I marked it.
Yeah.
So a lot of those back pieces are actually from guys who twisted their spoons and it broke off and,
Yeah.
they chucked it.
Yeah, well, you don't want somebody else's lips on your spoon.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Especially not today.
Yeah, and I guess when you when you're saying a lot of it could have been, I don't know, maybe they marked it too because for diseases or whatever, like possibilities, they just want to make sure, hey, this is mine, and so that's cool.
I think what people need to know about the Boer War is these were farmers. I mean, these weren't soldiers. These were farmers. They were fighting a war with their hunting rifles.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't have much. I mean, the Boers were they had very little. So they treasured their family Bibles, and having something like a spoon would be so essential to them. That they would use it for everything. They would. So you can just imagine if you had a spoon, you were kind of one up to the other guy. Having at the end of the first year or two of the war, the guys, the Boers' clothes were in tatters, and they would have to shoot and they'd take prisoners. If they did catch any British prisoners, they would take their shoes and boots and whatever their clothing and send them back to their camps naked. And kind of loot them that way. So you can just imagine having a spoon was kind of an essential tool.
Oh yeah, it's just essentials. Yeah. And here, I mean, this is such a cool pile of buckles. It's got a little bit of everything in there. And then, I mean, we see, people down in the southern part of U.S. and getting buckles. But, I mean, here, I've never seen a pile of buckles like you have here. Yeah.
All right, this was just my buckles for 2020. I think I have probably 10 times as many buckels.
Yeah.
So a bunch of buckles, deep buckles and clasps, and there's some unique buckles you can see there at the bottom center. There's a buckle with a nice, I suspect had a family crest or something on there.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some military buckles. There's some iron buckles off of horse tack. There's some bandolier buckles off of ammunition, bandoliers. So some really cool buckles.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, and I can see that the two pieces there with the crown on the bottom and that circular look like those are the ones that kind of as a match set down there. It's kind of Huh.
Yeah. Yeah, I love finding buckles. Buckles are
And
really
then here
nice.
we've got this is another spoon from before there. It a little
Yeah, so
engraving
this
on
is
it.
a little, looks like a tiny little sugar spoon.
Mm-hmm.
So very, very small spoon, probably about
Yeah.
2 inches, if that. So yeah, probably a little sugar spoon. I
Sugar.
found this at
Yes.
an old
Yeah. Yeah.
farmhouse. Um, so yeah, that's what I suspect
Is it
that was. You
pewter?
know,
Made of pewter or brass or?
I'm not sure. I think it is made out of brass.
Okay.
It was definitely silver plated.
Yeah.
So I suspect probably copper.
Yeah. Okay. And here you look like you got some Roman coins here almost from in the center
Yeah,
there.
yeah. I was with Tace when he found that center coin. That is actually, I can't remember what they call it, but it's the Dragon Slayer um, coin. Um, yeah, I can't remember the details or the name of that
Yeah.
coin, but it's super, super old. I think like 1700s or early 1800s coin, or medallion or whatever. So that was a unique find. When we found that, we actually thought, Jesus, this is like a hammered coin that we found in
Yeah.
South Africa. That
Yeah.
doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But you can see it's just not in the best condition.
Yeah.
On the left, that is actually a piece of jewelry. So it looks like a
The
coin,
hole in it.
but
Yes. Yeah. You can see it. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, that was actually no, the smaller one. So the smaller one on the side, you can see how flattened it is. That
Mm-hmm.
was actually a what do you call? Oh, there we are. Tace just commented.
Yeah.
That was his. It says George the Dragon
Dragon
Slayer.
Slayer.
So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
100% right. So that was a cool find we found at an old farmhouse. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that coin on the left, the small one, that was a piece of jewelry, and it has nothing on the other side. So you actually had three of those pieces of coin stuck together,
Yeah.
and that would make up like a little brooch or something like that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
then the right hand side coin, the big copper one, that is extremely rare to find. That coin is absolutely ruined, but that is a Tsar coin. So that
Wow.
is a coin that minted during 1882 to 1898.
Yeah.
In that period, the South African government actually minted their own coins.
Okay.
So that is a Tsar, South African Republic coin
So that's what
with
I was gonna say because it looks like almost like a Russian type with the photo and the mustache and like a Lenin type of a look to it. So yeah,
Yeah,
interesting.
so that was President Paul Kruger, named after, well, the Krugerrands
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
named after him. So that is a Tsar coin that Tace also found years ago, before him and I actually started digging together. And that's the only Tsar coin that we've ever found. So we
Mm-hmm.
found hundreds of British pennies and South
Yeah.
African coin, silver. That's the only Tsar coin we've ever found.
Yeah. Man, it's just you're wanting me to get over there to hunt with you guys and spend time and get all these treasures you're unearthing is just incredible. Just love them. And just can't get
You
enough. And
guys
here's
are,
your
you guys are
pocket watch. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so there we are. There you can see that was the top piece, that little piece that I said that was stuck in the
Yeah.
mud or in the middle of that
Yeah.
watch. So when I cleaned it, that actually fell out,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I was still able to nice and clip it back on, and that's how I keep it in my display at the moment.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
thought that was a nice little picture to have, the pocket watch and the little fob
Oh,
chain, as well as the.
absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
So I thought
That's
that
very
was that
cool.
was quite nice, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Love them.
Yeah.
And here another collection of coins. You've got here. Look like quite a bit of silver
Got some
mixed in
nice
here.
silver.
Yeah.
Yeah, all silver. So bottom left we have a florin, which is basically like a 2 shilling or a 2.5 shilling,
Mm-hmm.
nice big silver. And you can see all the little small tickies, which are 3 pence.
Yeah.
Bottom right, you can see the British 3 pence coins. So there, I think I can't see the dates, but it looks like early 1900s or late 1800s. And yeah, the center coin there, that is also a British 6 pence. I think that was in the early 30s or 40s.
Mm-hmm.
So not that old, but very unique. It's the first time I actually found a British 6 pence in that with that pattern or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's
yeah,
nice.
just a nice little snap of some of the
Yeah.
silver.
Wonderful collection. Yeah. And oh, and here another one favorite, old toys, eh?
Yeah, nice little truck that we found. That's brilliant. I love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love finding these toys.
And
I
it looks
found a
like it's
very
metal,
cool.
right? Yeah, it's all metal.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So that would be metal. The wheels are all gone and muddied and whatever. But
Yeah.
I thought I wouldn't clean it. I'd keep it in this dirty, rustic look,
Mm-hmm.
which just
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it just looks really cool. Makes a nice photo,
Yeah. Yeah. No,
and
that's an old
yeah,
looking pickup truck. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, very cool. I love that.
And here's your twisted spoon. This is
Yeah, so there's a
twisted.
nice close up. You can
Yeah.
see how the handle's been twisted
Yeah.
and marked.
Wow.
Very cool piece of history.
Yeah. No, that is cool. So that is all the treasures, or some of the treasures that we've had for Leon, and I'm sure he's got a lot more. But I really love the sharing of the stories and behind all these, but yeah, thank you. Let me just
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
yeah, go ahead. Yep.
No, no, yeah, no. Just thanks, Frank. Thanks
Yeah.
for going through all of that. It's nice. I actually forgot about some of those funds.
Yeah, it brings back
So it was
memories,
really
doesn't it?
nice.
When you see these
Yeah,
finds again, let me. I wanted to kind of see if I could, what's happened to our little globe here, and see how, and anybody else is joined on it. I did want to kind of bring it up when we're going through the photos because it kind of pops up in the front. So, but I wanted to see if there's anybody else on there. It needs to be kind of constantly fed information and downloading. It's a something new, but it's just downloading some stuff for me here. And let me just see if there's anything else comes up. Yeah, still brings some information in there. But yeah, Leon, it was just so nice to chat with you today. And I'm sure our audience also enjoys the stories behind these finds of yours. And it's just remarkable that, the technology to unearth these are still there, and so it's just kind of a cool thing to be able to handle and do, and it's just, yeah, so it just, thank you. And I don't
no,
know
it's
if
a
there's,
pleasure.
yeah,
Frank.
yeah, if there's any questions that anybody has out there that for Leon, that that he hasn't said about a story or something, let me know. And we can, while he's here, we can get him to do that. So yeah, I'm just going to bring the
Yeah, no problem.
world up again here and just kind of see if there's anything. We've got a couple of people here. Let me just go out here. So we still got two people from Vancouver. There's only two people from the U.S. But let's see. We've got a couple people here from South Africa. Now, not everybody has input their where they're from, but there's a couple of new people that came into the stream. Metal Sharks and Way Too Adventures. If you could put in, I am from Florida, or St. Petersburg, Florida, or I am from Berlin, Germany, and you will show up on our map, so. And DF Digger, I just saw, he came in here. If Dennis, you can put in there, I am from blank something US, and you will go on this map. So I'm just trying to populate and get things going. I don't know if Terry Diggers Tyson is still there, but if you could put in there, I am from blank in England, you will get on to Jacksonville, Florida. So let's see if we get the feed comes through. It'll take a little bit of time to get the feed come through, but we'll get it happening, and get you on the map. So next time, this will be working on the front as we're doing countdowns, and if you could do that in your chats, and you will go on there. See, someone just popped in from Germany, popped in. So the globe will be moving around like this as people are popping in, and show you exactly, not exactly, but show you the approximate location that you're from. So we've got somebody, look like there's 2 people down towards the Florida, the 2, and then, there's somebody from, look at that. So we've got a couple of people here from Europe, so that's kind of cool. So this is kind of something that I'm just putting together, working on, making it go. But yeah, so just, I don't know. What do you think of something like that, Leon? Is it an interesting or to add to the streams, you think?
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool, man. I think that's really cool to see where everybody is from, and I think what's nice is what you're doing, Frank, is if you can kind of get people like myself from all over the world, and kind of people sharing the history, and we have so much history that people don't know of, and we share so much history with a lot of countries that people don't know of, and the only way to kind of get people interested in understanding the videos and what we do and where we are and what we dig is to get them on the show like this, and I think the nice thing about metal detecting is it's universal, so you also
absolutely.
Digging actually says this all the time when she says you don't have to speak the language to understand, you can still enjoy the scenery and the finds with the guys on the channel. So yeah, man, I just actually posted something in the chat for the guys to go to one of our videos, any one of them, and in the description there's our tree link.
Yeah.
And if you click on that tree link, it goes to all of our socials, and there's some of our platforms where we post finds, like our Instagram, and we post our some TikTok. We're on TikTok now as well. Some short little clips.
Okay, so you've got an Instagram account too, do you? Let me just, I'm just going to go, hold on here. I'm going to go back to one of our other sharing. Let me just, hold on. Where are we? Okay, let me just go back here. And I'm going to put Instagram. Okay, so let's find your Instagram here. Insta. I'm just going to bring it up here. Instagram. Okay, is that under Zarrp? I believe. I think I follow you. So yeah, there it is. There. Frank? Yeah. So there's his Instagram for the people that are on. They can follow him. He's got 1380 followers, and he's following a lot of people. He's got a lot of posts out there. So make sure you get onto his Instagram and see some of his finds and information that he's posting. Do
you mind if I have a quick screen share, Frank?
Sure. No, go ahead. Yeah, absolutely.
Let me show something. Let me quickly go to.
I haven't done that yet, so we'll but let's try it. Yeah. Okay, so now what I'm going to have to do, I think I'm going to share it. We're going to put it into a guest 2, I believe, and let's just go into here. There it is. Is that yours?
If I miss it, that's it. That's mine.
Yeah, that's yours. Yeah. Okay. So there it is. So
So what you can do is, if you just go into our latest video, like over here, I'm just going to mute the sound. Sound is muted. You can see in our description, just go down, and right over here, you can see link to all socials. Click on our tree link right over there, and you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see upcoming events. Here's our YouTube channel, our latest video, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, our merchandise store, and then some relevant websites that you can go. So up here, everything is in one place, and you can go and follow all of our socials, which is really cool. So I don't know if you could see that when I clicked on the tree link.
Yeah.
I'm hoping you could.
Yeah, I'm just bringing it up on my end here too. Yeah. So that's the first time I've shared, I had a guest share their screen. So I might have to do something a little bit bigger and to kind of go and where's my just gotta hold on here. I lost my share screen.
Do you want me to share that again?
Nope. I'm okay. I was just going to bring up the ones I had here for you, but I can't find it now. Huh. Hold on. It just changed on me.
So I shared that screen.
Yeah, this one
there
here.
for you.
Yeah, so here I've got the screen. I'm just going to kick this out of here. Hold on. iPhone. Yeah, turn that off. Okay, so this is your web page here. So you know, when you
so
go
if you
on,
just
yeah.
on one of the videos and under the description, you can find our tree link,
Yeah, there
and it takes you right up to all of our socials. You might
Yeah,
just have to
so-
mute.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel.
Yeah, there
So,
we go.
Thijs, Kyle,
Okay, so under your show more, you've got all the trees here. So all that information for everybody. So you can get on there, see their videos, have a boo at them. But yeah, he's got all the links. It's great, good stuff to see. So but yeah, so we'll get. Yeah, I'm sure everybody will get on to that link. So. That's great.
Yeah, it's nice, man. So other upcoming streams, I post on the Facebook groups, and there's it's a place for guys to share, like we all share our finds, and a place to get in contact and ask questions. And like TikTok, Kyle and I just started our TikTok, and sometimes there might be some videos that make it on TikTok that we won't necessarily post on the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And post those videos over there, so that's quite nice to just sometimes see if we do some park hunts and whatever.
I think I'm the same way too. I mean, there's things that I have, I think 3 Instagram channels I have for my digging, my photography, and for some birding. So some things don't always end up out there that I have. So with the metal detecting, but yeah, so it's in the YouTube channel or it's in the Instagram. But it's nice to have the links in there and have people kind of appreciate and follow you, so so I encourage everybody to make sure that they follow you along there and get it done. So but that's pretty well it. I really appreciate your time. I know it's quite late in South Africa. We're just kind of getting going here at the west coast of Canada, but Leon, it's been a pleasure. I'm sure everybody in the audience have enjoyed the stories behind them, and definitely we're going to have to get you back on here again for sure, and talk about some more. If you're around, I'm going to be doing some little chats with people, and I'll put the link in there for the future time to just hop on and come and talk with us again. We've got Way Into Adventures will be coming up. I believe it's February 26th. We have them coming on and talking about the stories. 2 young fellas that'll be interesting too, because they're incredible boys that do some metal detecting over, and they're living in Germany currently. So, but yeah, so and I have. Next, let me just go here. I've got a couple of really cool things coming up too. I have coming up on the 10th, I have Madison, Maine, and DF Digger will be on. So they're going to be kind of a cool pair to talk to. They're in the river hunting and they're finding a ton of those bells, the croco bells, I think they're called.
Bells,
yeah, they're finding that, and so then I have Park Rat coming on the Friday, so that's going to be 2 p.m. on Friday. On Wednesday it's at 3 p.m. So I try to alternate my times depending on the time slots people are in, and but yeah, so we've got some interesting people coming next little while. So hopefully, you know, we'll get you to come back and watch them, and love to see you in the chat. And with that, I'm going to let you go, Leon. Thank you, my man. 2 thumbs up to you.
Thanks, Frank.
And
Thanks,
I'm just going to
appreciate
play around with
you on
this.
YouTube, man.
Yeah, I'm going to play around with this globe here. We've got a few more people that popped up, so I'm going to bring that up again and just show everybody. So I will let you see yourself out, and we'll see you next time, Leon. Thanks for coming, eh?
Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate everybody in the chat, and yeah, we'll see you guys on the channel.
You betcha. Okay, thank you.
That's it. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers. Yeah. So here's our little globe again. We're starting to get some people, more people on there. So this is what it's going to look like with people kind of coming up for the future. If everybody can kind of do that from, hi, I'm from wherever town and province or state you're from, or country. You know, like put it in the chat. You'll pop up in here, and so as you can see, we've got South Africa. There's a couple people from down there, you know, in there. So, and there we go. Johan Smith, and plus 1 more. So I'm just kind of finding out when I click on these who the person is. So isn't that cool? So let me just see. I've got another one here. Let's see who this one is. This one, the name doesn't show, so person doesn't have a name here, but they may not have a YouTube channel like some of the regulars do. So here, let's have a look at this one here. Metal Sharks. There's Metal Sharks. There's our Metal Sharks down here. So, isn't that cool? So this one here, again, is I don't think this person would have a channel. And then here, Mayor's Videos, you know, is in here. Let's see if I could kind of zoom in a little bit on Mayor's here. See what we can find. And I don't have the zoom, but I'm just kind of getting no shortcuts to it, so we'll get it for next time. But Mayor and 2 other people are there. And then we've got, yeah, somebody else. Let's see who else. Anybody else popped in here? Just okay, so yeah, we got 3 now over here. So let's see who's this. Mayor's and 2 more. So okay, so anyway, yeah, so Germany pin should be us. Okay, so did you, I'm not sure if it's Ronan on here. Ronan, did you put in there from Berlin, Germany, or where did you, how'd you put your way into? So here's from Dover, Foxcroft, Maine, DF Digger. So let's see, DF Digger. You haven't popped up yet, but let me resume the stream fresh out here and see if we can get a couple more people popping in there. But I think this is cool, you know. So we'll see you guys on there. Oh, it's Dad. Oh, Shannon's on this one. Okay, Shannon. Yeah. So, oh, you just put just Germany. If you put in a city from such city, Germany, it'll pop up in that area, roughly where you might be. So, but anyway, yeah. So it's oh, here we got somebody popped up over here. Oh. So yeah, the map will be interactive as people log on while I'm doing the initial countdown. The world will rotate to where the person pops up, just like it's doing now. This is doing it by itself as people are logging on and coming on. So I didn't move it. So I can rotate it, you know, on here, which I do, but it'll go by itself. So it's kind of cool. So South Africa's still down there. So let's see who else. Nobody else has come on here. Yeah. So yeah, cool feature. Anyway, so let me just go back to my main camera here. Where'd I go? And yeah, so that's pretty well it, you know, folks. I'm I just wanted to let you know that it's great. Thanks for coming. I just want to do a little shout out to DF Digger, Way to Adventures, Mare Videos. Thanks for your help, Marlon. And we've got Metal Sharks, BC Treasure Trails. Jason, thanks for coming. And we've got Chris Corson from Tallahassee. And we've got Stan's Lad. I believe he's probably from South Africa. Who else? Metal Detector South Africa, knocked a macro in here. Who else have we got? Just kind of going through. Zarrps, again, thanks Leon for coming. It was great stories. Love them. Metal Sharks. Tina Bally's in here. Thighs Gloy's here. And Madison Maine was here. Thank you. And who else? Who else did I miss? Mama's Gone Detecting. Thanks for coming along, Mama. Detector Mo was here. Detector Mo. And I think that's it. Oh, Diggers Tyson was here earlier. Not sure if he's still in the chat, but yeah, so anyway, we've got that, and I don't see my friend Wayne Wilton. I don't see if he was around, but he might be out doing his little walk or something. And anyway, yeah, thanks, Marlon. Yeah, it was great to see everybody and hear the stories. I just love the stories. So, yeah, I like the globe. I was wondering how many areas are represented. Yeah, I know. We'll get this going for next time, so if people can remember when you log in. I'm put your name. I'm Frank from Vancouver, British Columbia, and you will be popped up onto that map automatically. So yeah, not South Africa, I'm afraid. Oxford, England. Oh, there we go. Oh, Stans. Okay. Well, sorry Stans, but yeah, thanks for coming, and hope to see you back here again. So anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. It's been quite a while. Thanks for coming, and please hit that like button as one's exiting, and it'll help us to grow this channel. But anyway, 2 thumbs up. Cheers for now. See you guys later.